Have you ever had that strange, unsettling feeling as if someone, without a word or touch, was somehow pulling energy from you? Maybe you've left a conversation or a meeting, feeling inexplicably exhausted, weighed down by emotions that didn't even seem to belong to you. What I'm about to share with you isn't some fleeting trend or superstition. It's something far older. It's a quiet, powerful symbol from ancient wisdom, a red thread, tied with intention, marking a sacred boundary between you and the world beyond. This red thread, wrapped gently around your left wrist, isn't just a curious custom or some mystical ornament without meaning. It's the echo of wisdom that many have forgotten, a living tool that ancient sages once used, not for show, but for protection, for remembrance, for conscious choice. Because energy, though we can't see it, moves through our lives like the wind. And where there's no boundary, no closed door, everything enters. The spoken and the unspoken, the nourishing and the harmful. From the silent corridors of Kabbalistic temples to the hidden chambers of Hermetic schools, one truth continues to surface: the left side of our body is an energy receiver. This isn't just poetic metaphor. It's a truth felt and understood by those who study the flow of subtle forces. Through this channel, intentions, both pure and hidden emotions, vibrations, and uninvited energies pass into us. So what does this thread truly do? It doesn't close your heart or numb your sensitivity. On the contrary, it acts as a spiritual filter, a silent, watchful guardian, a declaration tied with awareness that tells the universe, I choose what enters my space. But here lies the deeper secret. The thread, on its own, holds no magic. Without the energy of your intention, it's nothing more than a string, just another accessory. The true strength comes from the purpose behind it, the clarity of your mind and heart when you tie it. The red thread is not meant for everyone. It's for those who are ready to awaken, for those who understand that their energy is not meant to be at the mercy of life's chaos. On this journey together, we'll explore the mystery of the red thread on the left wrist. We'll trace its roots in ancient teachings. We'll look deeply into what happens when you wear it with purpose. And most importantly, we'll discover how this simple, quiet act can become a profound spiritual tool. Because protecting your energy isn't about fear, it's about presence, awareness, and love. And your soul, no matter how resilient, is worthy of that care. Long before spirituality was something packaged and sold, silent teachings moved from teacher to student through symbols and subtle rituals. In those times, the seen and the unseen were equally real. The physical world was no more important than the energetic one. And just as we care for the body, tending to the energy field was essential for well-being. A central part of this wisdom is the energetic design of the human form, the asymmetry in how energy moves. The right side radiates, gives out, acts. The left side receives, feels, draws in. This isn't random. It's the architecture of soul within body. The left side corresponds to the feminine, the intuitive, the receptive. It belongs to the realm of the moon, of the inner world, of the unseen tides of feeling and thought. Being the receiving side, it remains open to influences, to stray emotions, to energies that aren't ours. In the Kabbalistic view, the left arm is aligned with the pillar of judgment. The wrist, where the pulse of the heart meets the work of the hand, is seen as the threshold, the last line between what we feel and what we allow in. That's where the red thread belongs, not as a charm, but as a seal, a vibrational marker, a sacred code that declares from this point on, only what I choose is welcome. Traditionally, the red wool thread was tied not out of vanity or habit, but as a conscious ritual, never randomly. It was a tool for those who understood to walk through life awake is to walk with boundaries. In many ancient traditions, the color red wasn't for decoration. It was the color of fire, not the fire that destroys, but the fire that defines, purifies, consecrates. In Mesopotamia, in Egypt, among the Hebrews, within hidden branches of Hinduism, the red thread marked what was sealed, what was sacred. A red string around a thing meant that its energy was contained, protected. Those who understood this didn't need to flaunt it. The thread's power didn't come from being seen. It came from being felt, from being activated by intention. It drew a line not between you and the world, but between your soul and what did not belong. The thread didn't block your empathy or dull your sensitivity. It refined them. It helped channel your heart's openness into conscious choice. In the noisy, overwhelming world we live in today, reclaiming this ancient gesture isn't about clinging to the past. It's a quiet revolution. Wearing the red thread with awareness isn't superstition, it's living alchemy. It's a reminder that your body is more than flesh and bone. It's a living temple. And like any temple, it needs doors. And doors need guardians. Picture your body as that sacred temple not made of stone, but of light, of flowing energy, of breath, each part with its role, each channel with its purpose. Within that design are doors openings where what's outside comes in, and what's inside flows out. The left wrist is one of those doors, not just a joint, but a subtle point where energies meet the heart, the breath, the emotions. It's here, at this gentle gate, that emotional protection begins. It's where the inner world and outer world touch. So why a thread? Why red? Why the wrist? A thread is simple, humble, discreet, yet binding. In spiritual language, a thread speaks of connection linking moments, intentions, and dimensions. If it's red, it resonates with the frequency of fire, of life force. Red is the color of blood, of birth, of raw vitality. When tied on the left wrist, it becomes a ritual, a declaration of energetic sovereignty. This is my space. Here, I am the one who decides. But remember, this symbol works only if you do. To wear it as fashion, or out of imitation, or as a vague superstition, this changes nothing. It's like carrying a key without knowing the door it opens. The red thread's true power is the conscious energy you give it. It's a spark waiting for you to light it. It's not just a reminder, it's a part of your energetic will. When you tie it, let your heart speak. This thread is my filter. What's not mine can't enter. My space is clear. In that moment, the thread is no longer just a string. It becomes a living guardian, tuned to your clarity, your intention. That is the core of true magic. Intention shapes reality. The wool itself doesn't protect you. It's the energy you infuse into it. The act itself is not enough. It's the soul behind it that matters. The red thread isn't some passive talisman. It's an extension of your will, a guardian that mirrors your awareness. It sharpens your focus. It reminds you that you have the power to choose your frequency, to stop absorbing what isn't yours. And that choice begins with a single knot. The red thread doesn't protect you by its presence alone. It protects you because you've drawn a conscious line, because, with that small knot, you've said, "This is my boundary." And the practice of respecting that boundary becomes part of your spiritual path. But look deeper. A boundary isn't only about keeping things out. It's also about organizing what's within. When you mark that sacred edge on your left wrist, you aren't just declaring, "This can't come in." You're also affirming, "This is mine. This is what I choose to nurture." You begin to see your energy field as sacred space, and that recognition shapes everything: your clarity of mind, your emotional balance, even the karma you carry. Without boundaries, confusion creeps in, and confusion is fertile ground for the mixing of energies, what's yours blending with what isn't, until you can't tell the difference. Guilt you shouldn't bear weighs on you. Problems that aren't yours become yours to solve. You feel heaviness, fatigue, sadness that doesn't even originate from within. And so, the red thread becomes not just a symbol, but a daily reminder to discern wisely, to navigate the unseen with care. This is especially important if you're someone who feels deeply an empath, a sensitive soul, or a channel for the subtle world. The unseen touches you more often. Emotions linger. Unspoken words cling. Invisible currents swirl around you. Without a filter, your energy field becomes like an open marketplace. Everything flows in. Nothing leaves. The red thread can serve as that filter, that key to close what isn't needed and open only what aligns with your true self. But here's where many seekers stumble. There's a trap in thinking the symbol can replace the inner work. The thread alone won't save you from chaos. Wearing it as a pretty accessory, or treating it as some automatic shield, is empty. Worse, it can give you a false sense of security. While you remain wide open to what drains you, the ancient teachers were clear. A symbol without soul is hollow. Like paper armor, it looks like protection, but it can't stand against the storm. For the red thread to serve you, your intention must be living. Your energy must align with it. Respect it. Honor it not just at the moment you tie it, but in each choice that follows. Tie the thread in anger, revenge, or fear, and that is what it amplifies. It absorbs what you charge it with. So before you place it on your wrist, pause, breathe, clear your emotional space. Ask yourself, what am I doing this for? Set your purpose. Declare it. Because the red thread isn't merely protection, it's a promise. A promise to yourself that says, I will not let the world blur me with its noise. I will care for my energy as I care for my body. I will own my boundaries. I will choose what I welcome and what I release. In certain teachings of psychomagic, it's said that whenever your gaze falls on that thread, whenever your fingers brush against it, you're reconnecting with a deeper self. It becomes a lifeline, an anchor, a thread back to your center. Not a defense built from fear, but a quiet strength born of awareness. The red thread is not about keeping out enemies. It's about remembering who you are. It's a mirror on your wrist, a small spark of fire, whispering, here you are. Remember what nourishes you. Leave behind what isn't yours. Knowing this isn't enough. Understanding this idea doesn't change your life. It's how you live it, how you act on it, how you wear it, and why. That's where the transformation begins. So if you're drawn to make this a living practice, here are a few steps, simple but powerful. First, never use the red thread casually. Before you tie it, ask, what part of me feels exposed? What am I ready to shield, to filter, to protect? Don't tie it on out of fashion, or because someone else does. Let it arise from an inner decision. When you do that, it becomes part of your energetic will. Otherwise, it's just another ornament, another empty gesture. Second, make tying the thread a conscious ritual. The wool, the color, these aren't what give the thread power. The power comes from your dedication, from the sacred space you create in the moment you tie it. Light a white candle, or a red one if that feels right. Take a deep breath. Imagine light surrounding your arm, your wrist, your heart, as you tie 3 small knots. Speak silently or aloud, this thread seals my field. Only what lifts my vibration may enter. It's not about complexity, it's about sincerity. Third, pay attention to how your body responds. Often, when something is activated in truth, you'll sense it, maybe a warmth at your wrist, a wave of calm, a subtle tingle near your heart. If you feel nothing, that's okay. The work is happening on levels not always felt at first. But if the thread feels irritating, if it falls off repeatedly, if it breaks without reason pause, that's a message too. Perhaps its purpose is fulfilled. Perhaps your energy is asking for a different vibration now. Fourth, don't wear the thread indefinitely. Another common mistake is leaving it on until it frays, until all that's left is a worn strand with no energy. Remember, every sacred act has its cycle. when the thread begins to unravel, or when it breaks. Close the cycle with intention, thank it, burn it gently, or return it to the earth, if you choose. Bless a new thread, begin again, with fresh purpose. Fifth, let the thread support, not replace. Real boundaries. The red thread isn't a magical shield that will make all negativity bounce off. It's a reminder, a helper. It works alongside your actions. So say no when needed. Step back from what drains you. Guard your time, your rest, your peace. Don't use the thread as an excuse to avoid the deeper inner work. Use it to strengthen your commitment to that work. It's not the thread that protects you. It's the awareness behind it, the presence you bring to each moment. And that presence, that living clarity is what transforms your life. Many move through the world asleep. They absorb what doesn't belong. They carry heaviness that isn't theirs. They fight battles that began outside of them. They feel sorrow that isn't their wound. And then there are those who awaken, who realize that to feel deeply does not mean to absorb everything, that to have an open heart is not to invite in chaos, that true protection isn't closing down, it's honoring what's sacred within. And in that quiet awakening, the red thread appears not as magic, not as fashion, but as a tool, a simple, humble symbol, invisible to those rushing through life, brilliant and clear to the soul beginning to remember I get to choose what I carry, I get to choose what I welcome. The red thread on your left wrist is not a miracle cure for life's struggles. It won't make you invulnerable. It won't shield you from every shadow or challenge. But what it can be is a spark, a starting point, a small sacred act that marks a turning point in how you care for your energy. It's the gesture that says, from this moment forward, I stop carrying what isn't mine. From this moment forward, I welcome only what nourishes. I care for my energy with the same devotion I give my body, my mind, my peace. And that is no small thing. In a world that's loud, fast, and often overwhelming, where distractions are everywhere, and true symbols are watered down into fashion, this single act, tying a thread with intention, can feel revolutionary. It can be a real act of psychomagic, just as the ancient teachers once did. You too can consecrate your own symbols. You can restore meaning where it's been lost. You can move through life not closed off, not numb, but awake, aware and centered. Your energy field is sacred. Your soul did not come here to be drained, depleted, or lost in noise. It came here to create, to connect, to express its unique light. And that's only possible when you honor its boundaries, when you choose, moment by moment, to stand at the center of your own being, steady, rooted, clear as a mountain of light. So now I ask you, will you continue giving away your energy without thought, without limit, or will you begin to honor it, to care for it? As the precious force that it is, if this message stirs something within you, let it move beyond these words. Let it guide you into action. Live it. Share it. If you choose to wear the red thread, do so with deep intention. Let it remind you daily that no object, no charm, no external amulet holds more power than your own awareness. The true amulet isn't outside you, it's within. It's your clarity, your conscious choice, your will to align with what serves your soul. Only you can activate that power. Only you can decide whether to live asleep or awake. And if these words resonate, if you feel called to seal this commitment, take a simple step now. Write in the comments, I care for my energy. I activate my consciousness. Let this be more than a fleeting thought. Let it be a promise, a quiet revolution that begins with you. Because today, more than ever, the world doesn't need more empty symbols. It doesn't need more amulets worn without meaning. It needs souls who are awake, souls who choose with care, souls who walk through life with intention, with clarity, with love. And if that's you, if you feel ready to stop absorbing the chaos of the world and start awakening to your own power, then join me on this path. Let's walk it together. Subscribe to this channel, ring the bell, like this video, share it with anyone you know who's ready to protect their energy, to honor their soul, to live awake in a world that so often pushes us to sleep. The red thread is simple, but its simplicity is its strength. A single line, a single knot, a single choice. And through that choice, you can begin to reshape your reality not through superstition, but through presence, not through fear, but through love. So tie the thread if you choose. But more than that, tie your intention to your life. Remember that your energy is sacred, your boundaries matter, and your soul deserves your care. Let this be your reminder. You are not here to carry what isn't yours. You are not here to absorb the world's noise without filter. You are here to shine, to create, to connect from a place of strength, clarity, and love. And that, truly, is where all real magic begins.